Yeah, see? Simple melody. You know how to sing it already. Is it really video game music if it's not heard inside the video game? These are what I call video game adjacent music. They are not technically made to be played within a video game, but they are still written within the culture of that gaming franchise. And these songs from League of Legends are some great examples of video game adjacent music. But we're here to check out some more champion themes from League of Legends, fiddly ones. Let's go! Braum, the Heart of the Freljord. Sounds like it's gonna be epic. Let's take a listen. Yes, cinematic, epic, and I feel like it's gonna have a lot of folk/Viking elements because I'm hearing something like a dulcimer or like a sort of lute amongst those epic cinematic drums, taikos, bass drums, all the big drums. Yes, this is folk modal scale. Da, 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 da. Yes, this is the common mode used for most folk genres of music like sea shanties or Celtic jigs. Yes, that melody feels like it's being done by a combination of something that kind of sounds like the bagpipes, a tin whistle, and a fiddle going on, mixing together into this solid, very thick melodic line. Yes, that is something like I would play with my own hegalong, my Philippine lute. This is a very dronic lute jam right here, very improvisatory, almost like it's a live performance. And it probably is to some certain extent. Did you hear that? No, 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 no. It suddenly became like a modern major scale from a folk modal scale to something that is a very major, normal, or classical scale, what you would call it. It's very subtle and probably would be something that is normal to regular listeners, but the musical nerd in me immediately noticed that, oh my God, that is not a normal thing in folk music, but it certainly is a thing that is done in folk-sounding music that is arranged in the lens of a modern composer or something that is made to fit modern cinematic sensibilities, such as champion themes from League of Legends. This is my jam. Celtic, folk, modern style approach with lots of improvisation, lots of epic cinematic drums. This is the kind of music I would listen to on a daily basis. Some great examples I could think of right now is The Chieftains, River Dance, Lord of the Dance, and even the albums of Cirque du Soleil. Oh my God. This is the kind of music I would compose for soundtracks for stage shows, which I've already done, and here's a short sample of one. I devour this kind of music. That accent, that deep drum accent with the low ha voices, similar to that Dragonborn song from Skyrim, that is like one of the shortest possible ways in music to accentuate something that is larger than life, cinematic, epic, just one deep accent of a drum with a 40, 60 piece male choir doing ha. That short snippet alone is enough to convey this epic cinematic feeling. That's probably what some would call a life hack. Yeah, if you listen very closely, you will hear there's a drone. This is a common trope in most traditional indigenous music, especially indigenous music that has string instruments. For example, this is very obviously a lute, probably a saz or an oud, one of those dronic 3-string, 4-string lutes. In the Philippines, we have a similar sounding type of lute that has 2 strings called the kudyapi or the hegalong, which I've been playing since I was in high school. What I'm saying is it is a common trope to have this dronic performance. And when I say drone, is a drone in the context of folk music is there is one string dedicated to staying in one note. Or in Western music sensibilities, this drone is usually staying in the root tone, the one or the tonic in the Western harmonic sequence. And, it always conveys this feeling of something meditative, something stable, but on top of it, there is the melody. So there's the drone and melody. The melody is, of course, the notes that are moving and almost like an improvisatory manner. And in fact, it might as well be improvisations because most of the folk music in the world is handed down from generation to generation. It is taught by ear as what they would call an oral tradition. And the Philippines and probably in European or Eastern European folk music, it is very much the same. And I'm very glad that League of Legends and also The Witcher 3 is featuring more and more of these indigenous traditional music because they are beautiful music and they deserve to be heard. And I'm glad that we are hearing it more and more in video games, especially in the soundtracks of God of War, The Witcher 3, League of Legends, and the Elder Scrolls franchise as well. So yeah, more of this, please. Wow, that is just pure epic cinematic energy. And you were right when you said that this is a very jolly theme. Braum kind of feels like someone who's gonna be like, hey everyone, let's go have a drink at the tavern. And he'll be just like this jolly Santa Claus-like figure in terms of attitude, and he's like happy-go-lucky. Let's go have a drink at the bar and then we'll brawl after. I don't know. But yeah, this is my jam. By the way, if you're enjoying my content and want to support the channel, consider joining my YouTube memberships or my Patreon. Let's continue. Okay, Captain Gangplank. I hear foot stomps on a wooden board. A wooden plank? But yes, that is the immediate vibe here. It's like an entire crew of a pirate ship just collectively stomping on their ship and playing music together. And they're surrounded by fiddlers. All right, lots of dronic vibes, lots of fiddling, nasal fiddling with lots of ornaments, typical Celtic style of music, typical folk medieval style, which is also the mode, the vibe of the pirate music that you hear in most media. Okay, we're now going on full sea shanty mode right here. Yes, the reason why this immediately evokes a sea shanty vibe, like I said, the characteristics of Celtic folk music, which is usually associated with pirate music in mainstream media, there is a common, very discernible tonal center. Dun, 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 always staying in that dronic tonal center. And there's a reason for that, because this is meant to be a shanty style of singing, a style of singing where everyone joins in. The crowd sings along in unison without having to like learn complicated mechanics of music, like no complicated key changes, no complicated triad harmonies. No, it's supposed to be simple and easy to sing along to. That's the appeal of the so-called sea shanty. Oh my God. Crunchy open strings on that violin, that fiddling. By the way, there's no difference between a violin and a fiddle. They're both the same instrument. Fiddling refers more to the playing style. The violin is just the instrument. And when you say violin music, you usually refer to typical classical music. And when you refer to fiddling, that is usually the open string, drone-heavy, rhythmic style of violin playing that you're hearing here. That is common in Western American country music, or in bluegrass, or in Irish Celtic music. There's a slow trickling in of a more Western conventional orchestra in the background now. First real chord progression here. Yeah, see? Simple melody. Da, 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 da. You hear it once, you know how to sing it already. Yeah, it's full on unison. The melodies are all doing the same thing. The singers, the violin, and I think the only one that's different are the bass lines, of course, because, you know, they have to kind of still provide that underlying harmony. Delicious, crunchy, rhythmic, and so rhythmically infectious. You can't help but just join and sing along to it because that's on purpose. It's made to be simple, easy to digest, so you can just simply join in. No need for an invitation. Just come here, stomp along, jam along, sing along. Captain Fortune, right here. Let's listen to her theme. Immediately pirate vibes with that strumming, that dronic strumming, some sort of twangy guitar, probably a guitar tuned in open D. Oh, no, it's actually a lute, probably a saz or an oud, one of those 3 or 2 stringed lutes, which I also play one of those, an Asian version. This has the sea shanty vibe before TikTok even took over the sea shanty meta. Oh my god, that crispy fiddle violin sound. Oh my god, I love that. Especially the G string. The G string, the crisp sound. If you play like fortissimo on the bow, you will hear that rough wood quality sound. It's so satisfying. One of the things I love playing the violin. Violas, man. Violas. Either those were violas with the EQ on the trebles cranked a little bit high, or those were just like nasal sounding violin. Probably one of those Celtic violins, but it doesn't matter. It sounds so crisp, it sounds so good, and so satisfying, especially with those harmonies. Wow. I just love the violin, if you noticed. Wow, what can I say? That was swashbuckling, adventurous, but also there's a sense of danger. Those unpredictable chromatic harmonies coming out of nowhere, and those harsh sounding percussion, probably like the drumsticks hitting the side of the drums. They kind of like symbolize the sound of gunshots. Oh my God. And of course, the song using heavy Celtic style fiddling and drones and lutes definitely gives that piratey vibe right there. This is the kind of music that is ripe for improv, especially double stops, country folk style violin fiddling improv. That is my jam. Here is Fiddlesticks, The Ancient Fear, champion theme.
When fields like calm and wind stand still, run home, run home.
Right off the bat, I like the Celtic style singing and the Celtic style ambience. Very similar to the style of Enya or some of the music from World of Warcraft. I love it.
As the crows make night of the fading sun, hide now, hide now.
Yes, oh my God. I can feel this is going to be an epic folk style music. The beginning started with some sort of dissonant style of harmony with strings and other background instruments in the arrangement, but the angelic singing is so good. It's like there's this beauty in the middle of all this chaos, something like that. Oh my God, what a tease. This composer or this arranger is using conventional chord progressions, or so you thought, but those little ornaments at the end of every phrase, there is this beauty that you can see at front. But if you look closer, there are scratches and scars or something.
Stay.
Wow, such beautiful cinematic sound. Wow, okay. The music starts with trying to mislead you in falling for beautiful, organized harmony, but every time you are introduced to more and more small elements of chaos that you can hear in the music, especially in those harp ornaments or those harmonics. But here we go full chaos. Wow. Wow, okay. This is beautiful. From a beautiful calmness, injecting each and every time more and more elements of chaos. And then boom, it explodes and ends in full chaos at the very end. Beautiful. It's almost like there's a story in how it's arranged without even knowing the lyrics. The arrangement itself is a story in itself.
When fields lie calm and we stand still,
What song should I feature next? Let me know in the comments. Now watch my next video and enjoy.